Hello there, you're watching New Vision TV. This is news around East Africa. My name is Lynn Komjisha. We'll start off with news coming in from South Sudan. South Sudan's foreign minister has revealed that the youngest nation's president, Salva Kiir, has secured $10 million grant, which will be used to promote small and medium enterprises among the youth. He further revealed that the president signed key deals that included agreements to facilitate the inflow of foreign direct investment, avoid double taxation, a visa waiver, and a bilateral treaty, among others. The efforts, according to Foreign Minister Nihal Deng, are aimed at establishing good diplomatic ties with United Arab Emirates leadership to boost development programs. News from Tanzania. Accuweather, a popular weather forecaster, has warned that a new cyclone could hit Tanzania this week. Now, the forecaster cited locations of Lindi in Tanzania to Pemba in Mozambique. It was further said that the amount of rainfall forecasted could result into life-threatening flooding that might leave property destroyed. The cyclone is said to be called Cyclone Kenneth. From Kenya, the Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga are currently in China asking for an extension of the standard gauge railway loan. This comes after the country's efforts to secure a 368 billion shillings loan for the construction of the Naivasha-Kisumu leg of the standard gauge railway. The move will bring the total debt to 845 billion shillings and also make Kenya's SGR the most expensive project of the kind globally. Now, in Uganda, Kampala Minister Betty Kamya has set targets for garbage collection within Uganda's city centre. Kamya further promised that within the next 3 years, city dwellers will not be choking on garbage. The development is expected to happen in the greater Kampala metropolitan area, which consists of Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, and Mpigi districts. Kamya, who was on Wednesday giving accountability of the of the National Resistance Movement Manifesto 2016-2021 within the greater Kampala metropolitan area, said the other issue that must be sorted before 2021 is the messy transport system and city street lighting. Moving away from East Africa, we'll take a look at what's making news elsewhere. In Sudan, Sudan's ruling military council has met organizers of the protest that toppled former President Omar al-Bashir after they suspended talks with the generals over the weekend. The council said in a statement before Wednesday's meeting that it was willing to discuss proposals from the coalition of groups behind the protest for an immediate transfer of power to transitional civilian government. The Sudanese Professionals Association and its allies, who organized for months of demonstrations that drove Bashir from power on April the 11th, accepted the invitation and met the council. The SPA plans to announce its own civilian transitional council during mass rallies on Thursday. News from Libya. The humanitarian situation has greatly deteriorated around the Libyan capital, Tripoli, where densely populated residential areas are gradually turning into battlefields. And this is according to the International Committee of the Red Cross. Hospitals are struggling with chronic shortages of medical supplies amid power outages and weakened water pumping stations, the aid agency said in a statement after 3 weeks of clashes. The World Health Organization said on Twitter that 278 people have been killed in the last 3 weeks, while 1,332 others have been wounded. From the USA, Vice President Joe Biden, a moderate Democrat who has made his appeal to the disaffected working class voters who deserted the party in 2016, a key part of his political identity, is set to launch his third run of the White House on Thursday. Biden will announce his bid by video, according to a source familiar with the plans. He then is expected to make his first public appearance as a candidate on Monday at an event in Pittsburgh featuring union members, a key constituency. Biden, 76, had been wrestling for months over whether to run. His candidacy will face numerous questions, including whether he is too old or too centrist for a Democratic Party yearning for fresh faces and increasingly propelled by its more vocal liberal wing. News coming in from the United Kingdom. North Korea is using cryptocurrency markets to evade global sanctions and is likely using the virtual money to fund its weapons of mass destruction programs, according to a new report from the London-based Royal United Services Institute. The report recommends regulators take urgent steps to counter the threat. Pyongyang is subject to wide-ranging international sanctions following a series of nuclear tests and long-range missile launches in recent years. The reclusive state is seeking ways to raise money and bypass those sanctions, and emerging cryptocurrencies could become a key lifeline for the regime, according to a report. In Russia, Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ended their summit in Russia. Kim, who will stay in Vladivostok for one more day, left the summit venue by car. Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Thursday at a summit intended to show that the United States is not the only power with enough clout to engage with a reclusive communist state on its nuclear program. The two men held a day of talks on an island of the Russian Pacific city of Vladivostok 2 months after Kim's summit with U.S. President Donald Trump ended in disagreement, cooling hopes of a breakthrough in the decades-old nuclear row. We continue to follow developments in Sri Lanka. Now, the Sri Lankan authorities locked down the central bank, and the road leading to the jittery capital's airport was shut briefly following a bomb scare on Thursday, as more people were arrested in connection with Easter Sunday bombings that killed 359 people. Two bank officials told reporters that the streets outside the building near the World Trade Center in the capital, Colombo, was blocked to traffic before the security alert was lifted. Underscoring the nervous atmosphere in the Indian Ocean nation, authorities also shut the entry road to Colombo's main airport after a suspicious vehicle was identified at a nearby car park. The road was reopened when the alert was declared a false alarm. That was news around East Africa, news around the world. My name is KNGDOM.